Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I'm just out here out of the wind. It's really windy this morning, and enjoying the sun. And uh, and I'm thinking on the martial law. Uh, I've been in different kinds of different types of martial law. Um, The extremes would be in Vietnam. They had martial law there. I was in the jungle personally, but I say when I go to the rear, when I was on one truck convoy, and I saw the martial law there, and everybody, the military is armed, and that was one extreme. Another extreme is when I was in Venezuela. I think it was 2001, and they had a change of government, and they went into martial law, and then that was a different. Well, that was the first day I was there when right when they changed, and when that happened, it was like I say, the military and the police were all well armed. They all had rifles, and and in Venezuela, I've made videos in more detail about all this stuff. But in Venezuela, in the daytime, the military and the police controlled everything. At night, the gangs controlled everything. And now I was in Caracas, big city, the capital in Venezuela. And it was very brutal, very brutal. And but not all martial law is like that. That is genuine hardcore martial law. And the I've been in. Like I say, I'm a kind of a storm chaser. I go in after hurricanes, and I go in and I do the Hoi Chi on the people that are working, the volunteers, not the people that lost their homes and stuff. They need more than Hoi Chi. They need a lot. But uh, on those types of martial law, I was in. Now, that exception was going to be Katrina, and I'll get back to that. But in the hurricane martial laws, the military is not armed. They may have a handgun, but other than that, they don't have their rifles. Why? They're doing a service. They're trying to rebuild, trying to keep order and all this kind of stuff. So now at night, that's why you have the curfews at night. Now the military out at night were well armed, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to keep the looting down, all the crazies under control. And you got to remember, all these places they didn't have firearms. They were all they were already neutered, so they no guns. And so it was easy. Well, it really wasn't all that easy because even the places without guns, they have guns. Even in China, there's guns. So there's guns everywhere. Um, but the thing is, when martial law is used, and you see the military out there, and they don't have rifles, they can have handguns. Because I believe all military needs a sidearm at least. But they're there to help. And help, I don't know what it is kind of help they're doing, but uh, that goes by the way they're armed. So when you come up to checkpoints and they have armored vehicles and automatic weapons and stuff like that, that's not a checkpoint like controlling the traffic. It's a checkpoint controlling you. Now, Katrina, I was there, but I didn't get there till after. I got there, I was in Guatemala, and I rode my motorcycle up there, and it took me about a week, 10 days to get up there. And it, it was different. Um, they cleared areas. That's what the military did. They got people out of areas, and why they didn't have the utilities. I mean, and then like I say, without utilities and without a regular home to be in, you're going to be open for looters, and there was a lot of looters there. So they had areas, and I was in an area where there wasn't nobody there. One hotel, and the first floor was flooded. The rest of the hotel was full of bugs. The bugs, the water raised and made all the bugs come up. I made a video talking about all that stuff too. But uh, the now they did, and I thought it was really weird. They were disarming people, and I. But remember, this was New Orleans. I was in New Orleans, so these are city people. City people are much easier to control than I would say an average American. Remember, I respect Americans, and why? When I travel outside the United States a lot. They respect Americans, and they explain. They tell me why, and so it's a. I'm checking the time. Yeah, it's so that led me to believe why other nations respect Americans. Not so much the American government, but the Americans themselves. And I say so. Listening to all this really brought pride in me about being Americans. Not, but I mean, I say I've done enough stuff for me. I'm proud of myself for the stuff that I get accomplished and the people I help, the places I go, and stuff like that. So already I got self-confidence, and this is what Americans, true Americans, are known for: their confidence, their solving solutions, making solutions for bad problems. Americans are known for that. And so when it on martial law, watch, and if they are carrying firearms in the way of rifles or anything bigger than that, uh, you've got a bigger problem than the National Guard coming in to help and make sure traffic is good, the roads are clear for the truckers so they can resupply the country and stuff like that. I understand that, but they don't need rifles and armor to do that unless there's a problem. And this is what I was saying. Here in the United States, when they do martial law, it's going to be a real touchy kind of situation. And the thing is, if they got rifles and big weapons, armor, and stuff like that, there's a chance that there's going to be some bullets flying. Once the bullets start flying, then a lot of the military and the police will be well armed. When that happens, we have big problems. So we don't want any shooting. If they can keep the shooting down to the looters and the bad guys without using that military appearance isn't all that bad unless they're well armed. And when they're well armed, then that changes things. So watch for how the military is armed, and that's going to tell you what level of martial law you're in. Now, places like New York, LA, stuff like that, they're probably going to be well armed. And like I say, the shooting is going to be shooting, but these are going to be a different kind of shooting. These a bunch of crazies. Now, the unarming us as U.S. citizens, that's a no-no. You can't do that. And Katrina was a good example why you don't do that. So keep that in mind, and we'll talk a little bit more. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.